I want to share something I found a couple of days ago that is, to me at least, truly mind blowing because it shows not only that the Talmud is of divine origin, just like the Torah and the Hebrew Bible, but that it's totally beyond time. It's not subject to time, which is a description of God Himself. And we'll also get into how this character here, this rabbi from the Talmud, Abaye and Rava, here we're going to focus on Abaye today, but how he is encoded into the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, in the most astonishing way. And you'll see that he is encoded in this verse. You shall not abhor the Edomite, for he is your kinsman. You shall not abhor the Egyptian, for you are a stranger in his land. And we see the word for stranger there is ger. And this is a verse that is about gerim and those who come to connect themselves to monotheism, to the Torah, and one God from wherever they were before. So I'm saying that Abaye is encoded in this verse. Now let me show you immediately how I came across this. Using a technique from the greatest Kabbalist of all, Rabbi Yitzchak Luria, I punch in his name here, and this is something I've done before in some past videos, where you take the last letter of each of the words in a verse and it gives you a message or a name or a word that's appropriate. So here I've punched in Abaye, his name, and not only does it show up in this verse once, it shows up twice, which I've never seen before ever. So you'll find his name twice in the same verse, Deuteronomy 23:8. And here I've just taken a little picture of it, and just so that you can see it very clearly, 23:8, Aleph, Beit, Yud, Yud. And again, in the same verse, twice, Aleph, Beit, Yud, Yud. And we're going to focus now on what is his connection to this verse. So we said it's a verse about gerim, or converts, or those who get out of whatever they believe in and come to one God in the Torah. So let's check out the Gate of Reincarnations. And I said I used Rabbi Yitzchak Luria's technique. This is a book based on his knowledge as recorded by Rabbi Chaim Vital. So these are the two main foundations of all of Kabbalah. So what does this have to do with our verse? Well, first of all, above the Arizal, who is Rabbi Yitzchak Luria, explained that Abaye is from the Cain root. And I've done some videos on the Cain root before. Many people from the Torah and the Tanakh are found to be from this root. But Abaye himself, this great Talmudic rabbi, is from the Cain root. And you'll see why this is significant later. So remember, he is from Cain. But what does he have to do with our verse here and the gerim? Abaye and the souls of converts here. Abaye was also strong in his ability, like Ben Azai, to draw souls to convert through the learning of the Torah. So he's well known as being able to draw in converts. So it's appropriate that we would find his name there not only once, but twice. And like I said, I've never seen that before. So his name is encoded into a verse about converts. And then we see here, of all those whom we have said are from the root of Cain, only Abaye had his that being Cain's nefesh, ruach, and neshama. So he got all three of these from Cain, which is very important. His soul was not a mixture, but rather all three parts were from Cain, the secret of the souls of converts. Thus, Abaye had great ability to produce convert souls. Very interesting indeed. Okay, and let's read a little bit more. In any case, Tohu and Tikkun, so a repair, must combine to bring the universe to its goal. Those who learn Torah are called the builders of the world. The center of Torah learning revolves around the Babylonian Talmud. It centers around the discussions of Abaye and Rava. It is called the Havayot, or the debates of Abaye and Rava. So the Talmud literally is called the debates of Abaye and Rava. Havayot can be understood to mean like a plural of the name of Hashem, which is Havaya, which you would say backwards because we don't pronounce the name. We don't even know how to. The central name of Hashem, God, and its permutations. They are all perfected and brought to expression through the joint effort of Cain and Abel roots. So they're saying here that Abaye is from the Cain root, and I know from research that Rava is from the Abel root. Now keep that in mind. Let's check this out again, because there's more to this verse, and you'll see that it's also talking about not only Cain, Abel, Abaye, and Rava, but also Jethro, who's from Cain, and Moses, who's from Abel, as we'll see. And it says here, you shall not abhor an Edomite, for he is your kinsman. Edomite. Who is an Edomite? Well, Edom comes from Esav, which is Genesis 36. These are the names of Esau's sons. Eliphaz, the son of Esau's wife Ada. Eliphaz, you may remember, is one of Job's friends. Ruel, the son of Esau's wife Bashemet. Who is Ruel, who comes from Esav and therefore Edom? Ruel is Jethro. Ruel is one of Jethro's 7 names, as you see here, Jethro. And then Heber and Caini, because he's a Cainite. And Putiel, which is interesting because, check this out. According to our Kabbalists, Moses was a reincarnation of Abel, whereas Jethro or Yitro was the reincarnation of Cain. Hence the name Heber ha-Caini. Heber the Cainite, which we just saw. Heber and Caini right beside each other as Jethro's names. Now, Heber ha-Caini, what do we know about him? Let's go back to Abaye's Wikipedia just quickly, and you'll see here talking about Abaye and Rava. Their halakhic controversies are scattered throughout the Babylonian Talmud, with the exception of 6 of his decisions known by the acronym Yael Chagam. Yael being associated here with Abaye, who is associated with Cain and Jethro. Very interesting. Who is Yael? Yael just happens to be the wife of Heber the Cainite, who is Jethro. Heber, Caini, Yael, the wife of Heber the Cainite, connected to Abaye here through this acronym, Yael Chagam. And you'll remember Yael was the one who punctured Sisera's skull with this tent peg here. And I've done some videos on her as well. So it's very interesting to me that we would find this great rabbi's name here twice, associated not only with gerim, which both Jethro and Moses were, but also this Edomite and the Egyptian. What are the odds that this rabbi from 1700 years ago is found encoded in a text that he's a master of, which is about twice as old as that? It's about 3,300 years old. Astonishing.